haunting souls of dead slave-masters, and from a neighbouring cook-fire comes the monotonous sound of that strange festival, half pow-wow, half prayer-meeting, which they know only as a shout. These fires are usually enclosed in a little booth, made neatly of palm leaves, and covered in at top, a regular native African hut, in short, such as is pictured in books, and such as I once got up from dried palm leaves for a fair at home. This hut is now crammed with men, singing at the top of their voices, in one of their quaint, monotonous, endless negro Methodist chants, with obscure syllables recurring constantly, and slight variations interwoven, all accompanied with a regular drumming of the feet and clapping of their hands, like castanets. Then the excitement spreads. Inside and outside the enclosure men begin to quiver and dance. Others join. A circle forms, winding monotonously round some one in the centre. Some heel and toe tumultuously, others merely tremble and stagger on, others stoop and rise, others whirl, others caper sideways, all keep steadily circling like dervishes. Spectators applaud special strokes of skill. My approach only enlivens the scene. The circle enlarges, louder grows the singing, rousing shouts of encouragement come in, half bacchanalian, half devout. "Wake 'em, brudder! Stan' up to 'em, brudder!" And still the ceaseless drumming and clapping in perfect cadence goes steadily on. Suddenly there comes a sort of snap, and the spell breaks, amid general sighing and laughter, and this is not rarely and occasionally, but night after night, while in other parts of the camp the soberest prayers and exhortations are proceeding sedately. A simple and lovable people, whose graces seem to come by nature, and whose vices by training. Some of the best superintendents confirm the first tales of innocence, and Dr. Zachos told me last night that on his plantation, a sequestered one, they had absolutely no vices. Nor have these men of mine yet shown any worth mentioning. Since I took command I have heard of no man intoxicated, and there has been but one small quarrel. I suppose that scarcely a white regiment in the army shows so little swearing. Take the Progressive Friends, and put them in red trousers, and I verily believe they would fill out a guard-house sooner than these men. If camp regulations are violated, it seems to be usually through heedlessness. They love passionately 3 things besides their spiritual incantations, namely, sugar, home, and tobacco. This last affection brings tears to their eyes almost. When they speak of their urgent need of pay, they speak of their last remembered quid as if it was some deceased relative, too early lost, and to be mourned forever. As for sugar, no white man can drink coffee after they have sweetened it to their liking. I see that the pride which military life creates may cause the plantation trickeries to diminish. For instance, these men make the most admirable sentinels. It is far harder to pass the camp lines at night than in the camp from which I came, and I have seen none of that disposition to connive at the offences of members of one's own company, which is so troublesome among the white soldiers. Nor are they lazy, either about work or drill. In all respects they seem better material for soldiers than I dared to hope. There is one company in particular, all Florida men, which I certainly think the finest-looking company I ever saw, white or black. They range admirably in size, have remarkable erectness and ease of carriage, and really march splendidly. Not a visitor but notices them, yet they have been under drill for only a fortnight, and a part of only 2 days. They have all been slaves, and very few are even mulattoes. December 4th, 1862. Dwelling in tents with Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob. This condition is certainly mine, and with a multitude of patriarchs beside, not to mention Caesar and Pompey, Hercules and Bacchus. A moving life, tented at night, this experience has been mine in civil society, if society be civil before the luxurious forest fires of Maine and the Adirondack, or upon the lonely prairies of Kansas. But a stationary tent life, deliberately going to housekeeping under canvas, I have never had before, though in our barrack life at Camp Wool I often wished for it. The accommodations here are about as liberal as my quarters there, 2 wall tents being placed end to end, for office and bedroom, and separated at will by a fly of canvas. There is a good board floor and mop board, effectually excluding dampness and draughts, and everything but sand, which on windy days penetrates everywhere. The office furniture consists of a good desk, or secretary, a very clumsy and disastrous settee, and a remarkable chair. The desk is a bequest of the slaveholders, and the settee of the slaves, being ecclesiastical in origin, and appertaining to the little old church or praise house now used for commissary purposes. The chair is a composite structure. I found a cane seat on a dust heap, which a black sergeant combined with 2 legs from a broken bedstead and 2 more from an oak bough. I sit on it with a pride of conscious invention, mitigated by profound insecurity. Bedroom furniture, a couch made of gun boxes covered with condemned blankets, another settee, 2 pails and a tin cup, a tin basin, we prize any tin or wooden ware as savages prize iron, and a valise, regulation size. Seriously considered, nothing more appears needful, unless ambition might crave another chair for company, and perhaps something for a washstand higher than a settee. To-day it rains hard, and the wind quivers through the closed canvas and makes one feel at sea. All the talk of the camp outside is fused into a cheerful and indistinguishable murmur, pierced through at every moment by the wail of the hovering plover. Sometimes a face, black or white, peers through the entrance with some message. Since the light readily penetrates, though the rain cannot, the tent conveys a feeling of charmed security, as if an invisible boundary checked the pattering drops and held the moaning wind. The front end I share, as yet, with my adjutant. In the inner apartment I reign supreme, bounded in a nutshell, with no bad dreams. In all pleasant weather the outer fly is open, and men pass and repass, a chattering throng. I think of Emerson's Sa'di, as thou sittest at thy door on the desert's yellow floor, for these bare sand plains, grey above, are always yellow when upturned, and there seems a tinge of Orientalism in all our life. Thrice a day we go to the plantation houses for our meals, camp arrangements being yet very imperfect. The officers board in different messes, the adjutant and I still clinging to the household of William Washington, William the quiet and courteous, the pattern of house servants, William the noiseless, the observing, the discriminating, who knows everything that can be got, and how to cook it, William and his tidy, ladylike little spouse Hetty, a pair of wedded lovers, if ever I saw one, set out our table in their one room, halfway between an unglazed window and a large wood fire, such is often welcome. Thanks to the adjutant, we are provided with the social magnificence of napkins, while, lest pride take too high a flight, our tablecloth consists of 2 New York Tribunes and a Leslie's Pictorial. Every steamer brings us a clean tablecloth. Here we are forever supplied with pork and oysters and sweet potatoes and rice and hominy and cornbread and milk, also mysterious griddle cakes of corn and pumpkin, also preserves made of pumpkin chips, and other fanciful productions of Ethiop art. Mr. E. promised the plantation superintendents, who should come down here, all the luxuries of home, and we certainly have much apparent, if little real variety. Once William produced with some palpitation something fricasseed, which he boldly termed chicken. It was very small, and seemed some underdeveloped condition of antenatal toughness. After the meal he frankly avowed it for a squirrel. December 5th, 1862. Give these people their tongues, their feet, and their leisure, and they are happy. At every twilight the air is full of singing, talking, clapping of hands in unison. One of their favorite songs is full of plaintive cadences. It is not, I think, a Methodist tune, and I wonder where they obtained a chant of such beauty. I can't stay behind, my Lord, I can't stay behind. Oh, my father is gone, my father is gone. My father is gone into heaven, my Lord, I can't stay behind. Dere's room enough in de heaven for de soldier, can't stay behind. It always excites them to have us looking on, yet they sing these songs at all times and seasons. I have heard this very song dimly droning on near midnight, and, tracing it into the recesses of a cook-house, have found an old fellow coiled away among the pots and provisions, chanting away with his "Can't stay behind, sinner," till I made him leave his song behind. This evening, after working themselves up to the highest pitch, a party suddenly rushed off, got a barrel, and mounted some man upon it, who said, "Gib another song, boys, and I'll gib you a speech." After some hesitation, and sundry shouts of "Rise de sing, somebody," and "Stand up for Jesus, brudder!"